Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing TKOG. Thank you, Lord Jesus. And today I took Dragonmaids again. I'm just too addicted to this deck. It's way too fun. And this deck is too, and I mean like way too good. Like this deck is nuts. Like I've been hyping this deck up for a while now, and it's just such a good deck. It rewards very skilled players. It rewards patience. The deck can play slow. It can play fast. It can play combo. It can play mid-range. It can play control. It can adapt its pace to pretty much make you more comfortable in the situation depending on what deck you're playing against. This deck gets plus 10s, plus 7s, plus 8s. This deck has recovery pretty much better than every deck in the format right now. It outgrinds pretty much everything. You have like 7 main phases. This list is just crazy, you guys. I took it. We had a box tournament. I went first place. My only loss was actually so we played 4 rounds, then we played top cut. So I'll talk about my only loss today. But let's go ahead and talk about my matchups, and then I'll get into the deck. This deck is crazy, you guys. People at this locals are getting so annoyed with my Dragonmaids. My boy Tamir actually told me he's gonna find a way to basically build a deck to counter my deck. So it might be time to play something different because people are starting to like literally main deck troll for me and stuff like that, but it doesn't really work. Anyway, so first match I played Invoke Eldritch. That was a 2-0. Nothing really special to talk about. Next I played Assault Mode. He actually beat me. I didn't lose him. He beat me one of the 2 games. I went 2-1. I lost 1 time to him. I just drew a really, really weird and bad hand. He played through my Ash, and he set up the Assault Mode Stardust monster. I actually like his deck. It was super spicy. It was just really, really impressive what his deck was able to do. Babe? So anyways, yeah, it was really impressive what his deck was able to do. So that was 2-1. That was a W. My bad, you guys. And then match 3, I played against Virtual Worlds. That was 2-1. That was my loss today. Game 1, he won. I just opened no hand traps. He summoned VFD Chuchi. It was just crazy. Game 2, I got it. It wasn't even a contest. It was very similar to Game 1. How ironic, right? He just didn't really have anything for me. He tried to like bait me, but it didn't work. He just lost. And then finally Game 3 was what the interesting one. I crowed his Quinlong. I feel like I should have just held my crow for the Cloud Castle target, but he didn't summon VFD. He just had Bamboozling and M7. I Nibiru'd him. He didn't negate it. He let it go through. We entered a grind game, and I ended up losing because what I did was I was kind of scared if he had an Ash, right? So he entered battle phase. I activated Tidying to target his Chuchi and my Heretic, because I had Heretic, Tidying, and Nibiru. Then I chained Heretic to bounce his token. And what happened was, can you turn that back on, please? What happened was basically he gammaed me. And when he gammaed my Seal's Effect in Grave, I lost my follow-up. And not only did he gamma me, but on top of that, he drew a Kowloon. Because I knew he had Lulu, he added it off Gigi. He topped that Kowloon, so he comboed after that, and that's how I lost. Very unfortunate. If I just played it differently, for example, like if I had just like not been scared of Ash, I didn't realize he had a Gem instead. If I just played it differently, I could have just, for example, just bounced the token and just waited until he activates a virtual world effect targeting the trap and then use my other bounce on that. I just got really reckless and I got punished for it, so I lost that game. That match. Round 4, I played against Trap Dolls. It was a 2-0. My opponent was very salty and disrespectful. And that was actually the first time I played against him. That whole time I've been going to that local, so bad impression. Then going into top 4, I played Tri Brigade in top 4. He summoned the Wind Statue with Link Rebo and the Link 2 for the Ancient Warriors. I actually broke through his board slowly but surely because my deck has wins, and I actually drew access to Parlor. I was like, thank you, Jesus. I drew access to Parlor. I summoned Lord Parlor. I just kept withering his resources. He couldn't grind better than I could, so it just got to a point where he just couldn't resolve. He like kept resolving Apex and just like negating my cards, but I still killed his Barrier Statue. Then I full comboed, and I ended up breaking his board and setting up multiple negates. Then game 2, it was pretty simple. Game 2, he summoned the bear statue again, I believe. Yeah, and that was pretty much it. I couldn't do anything. Then game 3, I just full comboed and he lost. And then going on to the final round in top 4, I played PK Fire. That was a 2-0. So his first board that he made was with Dragoon, Fogblade, and something else. I broke his board. I outed his Dragoon. It just pretty much... At main phase 2, I summoned Seal or something like that. I won that game. And then the game 2, he set up Nightmare, double Fogblade, I literally played through both his Book of Moons and his Nightmare and his Fog Blades. I broke his whole board, and oh, that's what happened. Game 1, I forgot to mention that. I didn't out his Dragoon right away. I'm sorry. I played through the Dragoon and the Fog Blade, but then all I could do was summon Seal. My bad, you guys. I summoned Seal pass, and he was top decking. He had nothing going, no follow-ups in grave. So I activated Seal. He had to negate it with Dragoon, otherwise he loses his Dragoon. Separate Chain, Seal, summon Parlor, dump Tidying. And my next turn, it was just crazy. Like, I just went full, because I didn't Guard Dragon combo or anything, so I still had like Romulus and all that good stuff. Like, I just full comboed. Obviously, he just had a Dragoon and nothing, so I was just playing Solitaire. That's how I beat him game 1, my bad. Game 2, I played through 2 Book of Moons off of the Nightmare and double Fog Blade, broke his board, and I literally OTK'd him. No, I'm sorry. It says that he has 2,000 life points, so I think I left him with 2,000, but I won that match as well. So I ended up going first place. Dragonmaids are insane. Every card gets so much value. This deck just is... I could sit here and talk all day about how good this deck is, but this deck to me is like tier 1. It's meta. Like, I beat all the good meta decks with this deck, and because of the access, the pool of cards I have access to playing a dragon deck, my deck inherently can just get better and better the more I fiddle with it. If I want to play Chaos Space and, baby dragons, I can do so much more. But let's go ahead and get into the list. So we're going to go with starters. I have 20 starters, 20 extenders, and then the rest is hand traps and then engine requirements. So for starters, we're on 4 copies of Black Metal. Black Metal is freaking insane. This card is so good. When these cards resolve, you can full combo. You can OTK your opponent just off Romulus. I was able... Oh, yeah, I didn't even mention how many interruptions I was playing through, but as you guys can clearly tell, I was playing through, like, crazy stuff. The Trap Doll guy, I played through his Winda. I basically started battle phase. He Shizm, summoned Winda, sent a Dark. I'm like, cool. Started battle phase, summoned Parlor. Parlor's Dragon form, that is Lorpar, beat over Winda. Main phase 2, I set up VFD with Seal, and it was just insane, you guys. Like, I literally, I was playing through so much. Playing through Crows, Ash Blossoms. Nobody dropped a nib. Like, every time I got to combo, pretty much, I had a Seal and a Shao, or one or the other. There was one instance where I had Shao and Seal before I even Guard Dragon combo. So it was like, and I summoned Shao before he could nib me. Then imagine that, my 5th summon is the Seal. So it's like, what are you going to do? This deck is just extremely resilient. Every combo with a decent amount of extenders can push through so much. It's crazy. Black Metal is insane. 1-for-1 will go to extenders. I'll go ahead and move that over. But we are playing 4 Black Metals, 4 Parlors. I'll put 1-for-1 down when I get to the extenders. All of these cards are incredibly good. Parlor is just insane, you guys. These cards get better and better the more you use them, because they never really diminish in value until like your 5th or 6th turn, if you even get that far. So these cards hold a lot of value. These are all 1-card combos, 1-card Seal, or you can be a 1-card Romulus. You can just use Romulus, get Ravine, dump Tempest, just to literally make a Seal with a Ravine plus a Tempest for follow-up. So it's better than Seal Pass, or you can dump Absoluter, get Tracer, and Guard Dragon combo off 1 card. And it's just really, really strong. Like, these cards also all bait Ash Blossom, the Chamber, and the Parlor. This is how you're able to combo through Ash extremely well. People ask these all the time. I just go Striker, summon Nocto Vision, and it's like nothing ever happened. It's just crazy how much this deck can play through. It's like better than Dragon Link, in my opinion, and it has a better grind game and better follow-ups than Dragon Link. And you can out Barrier Statue and out Mystic Mine in your main deck and just deal with all kinds of different like boards. It's crazy. Like, this deck's inboard also counters Droplets and Dark Ruler because of Seal and Tidying, which is insane. Because Seal can still summon after attributes for cost, and you still have Tidying. So you can summon like Draco or a Morphage Slop, lock them out, flip the Tidying, still disrupt them. This deck's just crazy. And then we have 3 Kitchen, 2 Nurse. I haven't been using Chamber to tag into the fusions lately, but never forget that. Sometimes you have to remind yourself that you could do that, because that can actually just win you a game. What I do with Parlor a lot off of Shao is I use it to dump Tidying unless I have a Tidying face down, so that if anything threatens my Shao, I just let it die and I bring it back off Tidying, and then I can resolve his negation effect, her negation effect anyways. These cards are insane. Parlor and Chamber are obviously the best Dragonmaids in your first turn, but Nurse, absolutely hands down, after turn 1 is the best Dragonmaid. I've pretty much stuck on 2 now. I can't just play 1. Sometimes you side it out, but a lot of the times you do want the second Nurse. It's really, really important. This card's the best Dragonmaid after your first turn, because it just gets any of these and extra bodies, plus the tag out is just incredible. This card can turn into a +7 because you go for Chamber, Hospitality, Parlor, Tidying, get out Kitchen, and you can just bounce, summon Shao, summon Seal. You can Guard Dragon combo off of 1 Nurse. With the correct setup. It's just loading your grave is just as important as setting up for your combos. Because once your grave's loaded, hospitality just becomes like a +7. Chamber, parlor, and nurse, all these becomes like a +7. It's crazy that on your follow-ups, that one parlor, one chamber, or one nurse can literally kill your opponent by not only guard dragon comboing, but you could set up Shao, and you could just guard dragon combo anyways, because the amount of resources you get is just ridiculous. Like this deck is just way too good, you guys. Definitely, I don't regret playing 2 nurse. And then I'm on 2 tracer, and I cut the target to 1 because I wanted to play more hand traps. 9 was okay, but definitely wasn't enough. I'm glad I played the ratios I did today. Hand traps are important right now because I cannot afford droplets. So since I can't afford droplets, and I don't think main decking Dark Ruler is good, I just need a lot more hand traps to deal with basically Drytron and Virtual World, even though I played no Drytron today. So yeah, these are all the starters, you guys. These cards are incredible. The battle phase is probably one of the scariest phases for anybody playing against this deck. Some people, and I've noticed like smart people, smart players, like the Trap Dog player, he just did not go into the battle phase sometimes. He just felt it wasn't worth it. Because the battle phase is a trip to the bank for me. I sometimes use the battle phase as a way to get extra resources so that it's easier to play through the hand traps. And that also forces cards like Ghost Bell out, because every Dragonmaid in battle phase can be Ghost Bell. So you could just bait Ghost Bell easily in Hospitality, Tiding, World Legacy, Guard Dragon, you name it. But just using the battle phase, sometimes even if you don't OTK, you're going to set up an unbreakable board pretty much. To a large degree, there's very, very few cards in the that exist right now that can actually stop your inboard after it's made. But just using the battle phase to get extra resources so that when you combo, it's a lot easier, it's a lot more fluent, because there are some times where you have left a parlor or a nurse or a chamber on your field, like you, it was just there and it didn't die because your opponent's scared to go to battle phase. So you use your battle phase to bounce them, summon an anagram, and then main phase 2, you can normal summon them, or you can even special summon them, which is another cool thing. Like let's say you have parlor on field and chamber on field and parlor in hand, and you go chamber tag into Lorper in the battle phase, Lorper summon parlor. You basically get to resolve the parlor, and you still get to normal summon the chamber because you bounced it to summon the high level in the first place. So it's like really, really cool things that you can do with this deck that get you a lot more advantage, a lot more resources easier, and it makes playing through disruptions like a breeze. Like literally, you could play through 5 interruptions, almost like it's nothing. Like even today, I played through 4 interruptions, like it was nothing. Like it was like nothing could stop it. It's crazy. Even playing through Droll, this deck's just crazy, you guys. Honestly, it's better than Dragonmaid. So we have 20 starters. And don't forget, anytime you can always play mid-range Dragonmaids. You could still just play Seal Control, Bounce Control with Tiding and Seal and Shao. Those are for when you want to be more conservative and you don't want to play into the territory of too many hand traps or disruptions. Like that, it did kind of cost me because when I was able to summon Seal against Virtual World, that same hand was able to make Romulus and get access to Tracer and Guard Dragon combo. And I should have done it. I was scared he had Nibiru, but how did I play around Nibiru and then start being scared of an Ashe? You know, it's like, well, he has Lulu and an unknown. It's one or the other. So I should have just Guard Dragon combo because he had a Gamma and couldn't use it because he had a Nibiru token on field. But anyways, you know, you live and you learn. But sometimes you can play conservative and it rewards you. Other times, you just kind of go for a big push when you want to. Because like every hand that can make Seal is a Guard Dragon combo, which is insane. And you have like 11 one-card combos. For extenders now, we have 3 World Legacy Guard Dragon. This card is just broken. If they DD Crow the target and you have an extender, you can Guard Dragon combo anyways. If they bail it, you can activate another one. The same with Hospitality. These are the high-quality extenders. Hospitality is just broken. And that includes going Hospitality to bring back a properly summoned house because you summon it for your main combo. And once you properly summon house, you just go Dragonmaid tag outs, changeover, bounce, pop, start battle phase, pop, pop. You can break a whole board without playing into Nibiru and playing conservatively just by summoning house, whether you revive it or summon it, and just use her effect multiple times to clear all those threats and get rid of it. It's just so good. Including if they like negate house's effect and destroy it, you could bring it back off of the Hospitality, which is super cool. So Hospitality is just insane. Like this card is just broken. It really is. It's broken. It interacts with the hand, the graveyard, and the deck. Literally, you can summon from hand or grave, and you can foolish from deck. So like this card, it just is so valuable. And then moving past that, we have 3 Quick Launch and also 3 Nocto. Quick Launch is really, really, really good. This card's 1 negate by itself, or this card equals out to 2 bodies. If you have any hand that can make Romulus plus a quick launch, it's just so easy to play through a hand trap or 2. Nocto makes playing through Ashe a breeze. Like literally, it's so easy. And your normal summons typically bait Ashe unless it's black metal. Because at that point, you're chain blocking so much that Ashe loses a lot of its value. And they'll typically just Ashe the Ravine thinking that you don't have anything else And that's why hard draw and quick launch or the rocket tracer just helps you to play through so much, because you normally would ravine dump the Absolrouter to get the tracer access. And then I'm going to go ahead and put 1-for-1 down here as a high quality extender, almost just as high quality as Nocto Vision. Like I said, Nocto Vision, you can just combo through so much with Nocto. All these extenders, like if your opponent has a hand trap and you have an extender, they've blanked a card. And your extender, not only do you play through the hand trap, but you play through it as if nothing happened. It's like a different level of playing through. It's like you can play through it and end on a mediocre board. It's like you still play through a hand trap, but when you play through a hand trap and make the same end board that you wanted to in the first place, your opponent just effectively negged one. So these are like the high quality ones where like you can trade cards with your opponent very well. And that's what Dragonmaids do extremely well. This deck trades cards very well because everything replaces itself over and over and over, that your opponent can throw hand traps. Those don't replace themselves. But when you're trading hand traps for dragon cards and Dragonmaid extenders, these cards just keep coming back. So it turns into a grind game. And you don't ever want to go into a grind game against Dragonmaids because you'll pretty much lose no matter whether you're playing Eldritch, Burning Abyss, it doesn't matter. PK Fire, it doesn't matter. Even Shaddolls, like it's just really, really hard for any deck to outgrind this deck. So we have 1-for-1, Monster Reborn, and Foolish Barrel Goods. Foolish Barrel Goods, very similar to Nocto, lets you combo through Ash extremely well, because Chamber and Parlor getting Ash is kind of correct. It's just unfortunate that I play so many extenders, because like, if you don't Ash Chamber, I just get a free trap or a free extender. So that means your hand trap that you throw, if you hold your hand trap, I'm going to play through it anyways because of what I searched off of Chamber or dumped off Parlor. And what happens when you Ash Parlor or Ash Chamber and you want access to changeover, you use this to just dump it and add it anyways. If you're trying to search for Hospitality or dump Tiding off the Parlor or search Hospitality off Chamber, this lets you play through the Ash in that regard too, because you can just dump the Tiding and that's the extender that you need. So this card is really, really, really good. It's high quality extenders right here. And then we have Red MD, Tempest, and Absolrouter. These are more like lower quality extenders. Red MD is amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's one of those cards where like you don't want to use it too early. Sometimes I combo and just literally don't use it the whole turn. Like I just hold it. And there's other times where when I'm comboing, I summon Chamber, get changeover, and I fuse with this in the Chamber to go into Shao, and then I use Pisty to bring this back, and then use this to bring back the Tracer, and you know I banished for the Tempest. I not banished the Tempest, banished for the Trishul Fusion, Summon House, and then I put on my best in board is basically Warlord Savage, Shao, Tiding, Seal, and also VFD. So I have 2 Omni Negates, 2 bounces, and VFD, and this card literally, like, you can't really do it without resolving Red MD and using it as a high level, which it fills multiple roles. So Red MD is very important. Absolrouter is lower quality. Tempest is just a resource that keeps coming back. So it's a better extender because it has more longevity. And then Ravine and Sector, both of these are extenders, obviously. Ravine can even be a starter because if you already had an extender in hand, Ravine dumps the starter and you reborn the starter off your extender, which is really cool how your cards are so multi-purpose and flexible and interchangeable that even Chamber and Parlor and some of your starters, including Nurse, these can be extenders if you need them to be, or they're starters. And some of your extenders, like Quick Launch, for example, and Ravine, stuff like that, these can be starters, including 1-for-1 because it's both a starter and extender. It's a double edge, so really good. 20 extenders, 20 starters. This is gas right here, so you have an equal amount of both. Next for hand traps, I'm on triple Ash, triple Bell. Bell is really, really, really good right now. And then we have double Crow, double Meister, and I'm main decking 1 Nibiru because I decided to put Downtime in my side deck. I felt like Downtime is more matchup specific, and like my deck is already super good against back row decks, but when you're up against Mystic Mind decks and Eldritch and super duper grindy back row heavy decks, you don't have to side Twin Twisters or anything like that. You can just use Downtime, and that's how you get to keep bouncing Shaddol Schism and bouncing a lot of back rows. Like you just keep your opponent so behind, and in addition to that, it has a snowballing factor. So like Downtime's worth playing, but I cut Downtime from the main deck, and since my side deck was already 15, I took a Nibiru and traded it with the Downtime. So this was like basically my number 11 because it's 10 hand traps, but now it's 11. All of these are really, really good, including Nibiru. Nibiru is really, really good. I don't care what anybody says. Even against Drytrons, like in the right instances, when they activate the ritual spell, you can just chain Nibiru. Once they've like done Union Carrier and all that stuff, it depends like how they win it. But if they went the Link Karibo Relinquish Anima route, like they literally, like they're playing into Nib. So when they activate the ritual spell, you can just chain Nib. And now they basically have to, it's basically ritual from hand if they have it. which is a really cool interaction. And it also forces the like a lot of interactions. Like this card also forces like for example, when you're playing against other like Rocket Dragon Link decks, this card can just force so many cards. Like Nibiru's just really good. I don't care what anybody says. Like if you use it at the right time, it's really good. Even against Virtual Worlds, like Nibiru by itself is not always enough. Don't get me wrong. But also Nibiru plus any one of my hand traps is like just, it's really good against Virtual World. So bottom line, don't sleep on Nibiru. It's still a really good hand trap and it's worth main decking. Definitely is. It should just kind of be like your fourth choice, because the 3 hand traps I would pick over Nib right now, just because of the circumstances that they'd be live, is Ash, Bell, and Crow. But if I have to choose a fourth, Nib is still really good. And then we have Lorper and Ernest. I cut Tinkek and a Rocket target for Tracer so that I can fit in more hand traps. And also so that I can main deck just what I wanted to main deck. So we have the 2 anagrams. Sometimes I miss Tinkek, but never, like, it never came up today where I was like, dang, I wish I had Tinkek, you know? It is another tag out for your grind game to just be exceptional. But it's a combo deck at the same time. So your grind game isn't always needed, but the fact that your deck can outgrind everything and it's a combo deck is just way too OP. So we have the anagrams and the seal targets. Anything Draco's not good against, typically Slop is. This card just bodies Eldritch, Drytrons, ABCs, Invoked, and Dogmatica to a very large degree. And then Sloth just pretty much is like an FTK. Like a lot of decks just, it's like the Buster Lock. You can't out it. And the moment you enter your battle phase, I start bouncing your cards with Tiding, popping cards with House Dragonmaid. So you can't beat over this. And what I normally like to do is I like to hold Tiding if I don't need to. And then I just Tiding, bounce my own Sloth, so that it's both a high level and I can use my extra deck next turn. So this card is just so good. Like it's crazy good. Both of these Seals targets, like this is what makes Seals still like an FTK, because even when they Droplets or Dark Ruler no more your board, you can literally Seal summon one of these and these just beat like everything in the meta right now. Like no lights or darks, I can name so many decks that can't play without using lights or darks. It's insane. And then double changeover. Like this card is nuts. This is one of the reasons why I was able to play through Nightmare, because he did Nightmare my chamber, and he Nightmared my I think he Nightmared my chamber because I already had LP and Romulus up, so he didn't want me to go into Pisty. So he Nightmared my chamber, then he Nightmared my Red MD. But I searched this off chamber and I basically fused in the Shout anyways, because you could fuse with face downs, which is nuts. I used the high level though. I actually summoned Apsarouter from my LP, and then I fused with the Apsarouter in the chamber face down. And then we have triple Tiding. This card's just way too broken. Tiding's disgusting. One of the best trap cards in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So 20 here, 20 here, 20 here. It's 60 card deck as always. And funny enough, people can talk that they want to like talk about 60 card decks, but here I am, live as I ever been, playing my 60 card decks that I love and winning. So for the extra deck, we playing 2 Shao and 2 House. 1 of the Trishula Fusion. This card is way too good. And information. Your board is already scoop worthy, but if your opponent doesn't scoop, after this card resolves, they're losing and you know what you're playing. So this card's just so broken. Furious also put in work today. It put in work against Tri Brigade a lot. This card was just, it was like one of the only options I had, and it actually it was really good, because I summoned Lorper and I was just getting free pops off of this. And including against Shadal's, I actually had this up and I knew he searched Fusion because of his op clone that I negated. So I just summoned this, and on his draw phase, I got rid of his face down and his Schism, used this to pop itself so Shadal Fusion couldn't fuse from deck. And then we have Savage and VFD. Again, best in board is Shao, Savage, VFD, Seal with Tiding, 2 Omni Negates, 2 bounces, VFD, no Yu-Gi-Oh! And then Seal can summon out a Floodgate like Draco or Sloth. It's literally way too much for pretty much any deck to play through that I can think of. So these are the other 2 boss monsters. Now for links, I'm on Striker, LP, and Pisty. Sometimes I want another Striker, not gonna lie. It does come up sometimes. But the extra deck's super tight now. And then we're on Double Seal. This card is like an FTK. This is one of the most broken cards in your extra deck. Romulus is game. And then Boarsword is my like link 4 of choice. Boarsword's so much better than Access Code in this deck. You go into your Boarsword off your Guard Dragon combos. And I summon this a lot. I gamed like 3 people off of Boarsword. Even times where like my opponent, like another time I was playing PK last week, my opponent was holding Dragoon way too long, so I summoned Sword, changed the monster to defense, he couldn't respond, crashed into his Dragoon because he didn't use it yet, and it died, but this doesn't die by battle, and then I just swung over his board. Like Boarsword, OP, very OP. Now getting to the side deck, we're on 3 Lancias, Lancia is crazy against Tri-Brigade, ABC, PK Fire, Dinosaurs, Virtual Worlds, deck summoning VFD with the Trishula Fusion. This card is just way too good. Lancia is broken. And then we have triple Droll cards, also really good, but a lot easier to play around. I can play around Droll and through it at that. Because Parlor, when like whatever you want to get off Chamber, typically Parlor does that. So when you get Droll, you just summon Parlor. If you need changeover, dump it, bounce it. If you need an extender, instead of searching Hospitality off of Chamber, you can just dump Tidying. The only difference is you can't add Tidying to hand, which is okay. Dark Ruler is obviously OP. Dark Ruler and Droll against Drytron. And just any combo deck like Dragon Link, you could just Dark Ruler the whole board. And they don't have a good seal target like me, so they're just going to summon Safer or, you know, obviously Brotar off of their seal. And then we have 3 Evenly. Evenly's just broken. It's way too good. I love siding it. And then the 2 Nib and the 1 Downtime. Don't sleep on Downtime. I would keep it no matter what, whether it's side or main. This card's way too good to not play. Downtime has a snowballing effect of its own. It just downright beats everything in the grind game. So now I am going to go ahead and open up my box, you guys. So, whew, let's go. You guys, I really want you guys to see me playing this deck, because if you see me playing this deck, it'll explain what I mean by how good this deck is. And I personally think I got so good with playing Dragonmaids because I've been playing them for like, I think 6 or 7 months now. I started playing online till I got the cards in real life thanks to my wife, but I think I'm a really good Dragonmaid player. Like, not even like on some cocky stuff. I think because I just kept getting better with the deck, and as you guys can see, the deck kept changing over and over and over. Like, you guys see, every list is pretty different, you know, because I'm learning little tricks here and there that do help me to play this deck a lot more effective, including the Shao interactions with VFD, activate Shao and standby, then chain VFD, just little cute stuff like that. And the changeover effect, like when you have a Dragonmaid, like Nurse on field, and you have changeover engraved, you just bounce the Nurse, and then normal summon her, and you get a plus like 7. Like just the battle phase, tag outs, just there's so many ways you can just out-research your opponent, outplay your opponent, and play through so much. This deck is perfect for me, because I can play mid-range just like I play Shaddolls, but I can combo at the same time. So I don't even have to combo if I don't want to. I just sometimes do it because it's fun. So let's get this box open. You guys can stop if you want to. Obviously, I'm going to pull really good. It's finally my time to pull good off these packs. So let's start. Blazing Vortex has quite a few cards that I want, so we'll see. Somebody earlier pulled a Pot of Disparity. So we got some Metaphors cards, some Wind Witch cards. I do play Machina, so I'm definitely going to be able to use that. But obviously, it's going to take a little bit, so I'm going to try to rush through these packs. I'm more so interested in the hollows, so I'll keep the hollows there. And oh, I need that for my virtual worlds. What do you know? That's really good. So I can update my virtual worlds for you guys. I'll pull the other virtual world monster. Okay, so they got new support for Dream Mirrors. That's interesting. Tri-Brigade's got more cards. They got Kit and Rendezvous. If my homeboy wants a Kit, if I see a Kit, I'm gonna save the Kit for him. Arm Dragon Lightning, okay. Oh, the Dragoonity. Oh yeah, I can update Metaphors too. So let's see what we got here. Obviously my secret's gonna be amazing. The first Ultra is a Security Force monster. I don't really know anything about Security Force. I'm gonna stay on this side of the box. So we got, I don't know how many Ultras. I think it's like 3 Ultras, and obviously the secrets. I don't know if this card's any good. I know from what I've seen, read, and heard about War Rocks is that deck is not worth my time or my energy. So let's see here. Ooh, okay. Interesting new card. Oh yeah, a War Rock card. Oh, thank you, babe. So let's go. Let's see what we're gonna get. I'm just holding the hollows down. The Metaphors seem pretty easy to come by. I pulled quite a few of them. Okay, that's interesting. A new Ritual monster. I like Ritual monsters. Huh?
That's a nice purple.
Yeah, purple. Let's see what we got here. Oh, there we go. That's what I needed for my virtual worlds. Oh, there we go. Nice. I might play one of the trap. I don't know. I mean, once I banish it, I can just recycle it with Chuchi anyway. So probably just one of. I think both of these are one-ofs. So we pulled White Baking. Skull Servant's got some really good cards. Like, dang. Skull Serpents have great support. Like, they just really, like, for most archetypes that needed support, like Skull Serpents is one. Okay, I got the Skill Drain Trap. That's not that bad. I mean, it's okay. I'm just gonna appreciate what I got, to be honest. So that's a good secret, because I do want to play that card anyways. But I might sell it, because I be needing money sometimes. Oh, I wanted this for my Plunder Patrols. So that's a good pull. Let's see here. I mean, this whole box is free value. Another Metaphors, that's really good. Because, like, it's only $10 entry, so I'm already plussing. Just getting the whole box is plussing. So let's see here. Whoa, okay, Arm Dragon Thunder card. I will say, I wish there wasn't so many secrets, because then it would increase your odds of pulling a specific secret. Yeah, I got a lot of those Metaphors cards, so they're definitely not that hard to come by at all. So I got a play set. I probably only would play one of each of these, but I'm gonna just keep the extras just in case. Never know, I might change my mind, knowing me. Okay, yeah, I got pretty much all that all I need at this point is just the Metaphors Fusion card. The new Metaphors support is pretty decent. It doesn't like break the deck or anything, but it's good to have. The new Constellar card. I gave my Constellars to one of my best friends. I really hope that he still has those, because I told him don't trade it. Don't get rid of that deck. Let's see here. The Spriggan Ultra. Looks like I'm updating my binder. Let's see. I mean, we're getting down to the bottom. The Eraser Laser. Okay, my friend was interested in that card. I think this just outs an extra deck monster. Those special from the extra deck to the graveyard. Then your opponent gains life points equal to... Okay, this outs Dragoon. That's nice. So if you bait him, you can just kill him. And not only Dragoon, cards like Zeus, extra deck Negators, extra deck Boss Monsters. Okay, an Arm Dragon monster. It's really good. We're getting down to the last 4 packs. So it must be a really good... It is a very good secret for it to be this low. Okay. Another one of those super rare XEs. These are the last 2 packs. Guys, I always get that suspense, man. That build up. Alright, let's see here. Oh, I actually wanted this card for my Dragonmaids. So I'm okay with that. And I got the rest of the Metaphors cards. What do you know? Yeah, that was nice. And let me check my Ultras real quick. I think that should be... I mean, that's 3 Ultras, 2 secrets. But let's see what this last pack has. Alright, so let's see. Oh, I got 4 Ultras? I thought you get 3. Hey, I ain't complaining. So yeah, this box was pretty decent. I mean, I got 2 cards that I'm really looking for. I get to complete my Virtual Worlds. I got this Fusion that I'm going to put inside of my Plunders, because you can make this off shipping. And it's just a situational card. Yeah, the investment is intense, but it's a form of interaction that the deck doesn't have, and you never know when you might need that. So yeah, I'd say this was a good box. I'm going to go ahead and put these back in there. And it's time to update my binder. Yeah, you guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Lord Jesus. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth just as it is in heaven. Please give us this day our daily bread, Lord Jesus, and please forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power forever. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray.